Hi, I'm Kendra with WTMAstrology, and today I'm talking about the moon in Sagittarius. Now, this is my moon sign, therefore, I have a lot more personal experience with this particular moon sign than the others. And just a warning, I will probably be a little harsher with Sagittarius moon simply because I know my own weaknesses. So, quick distinction between the sun's energy and the moon's energy. The energy of the sun is going to be displaying loudly and proudly. So, when the sun falls in a particular sign, it's expressing the traits of that sign in a very loud and sometimes annoying way, very in your face. It's very easy to kind of perceive the energy of the sun most of the time in a person. The energy of the moon, however, is a lot more subtle. It's going to be expressing knee-jerk emotional reactions. It's going to be expressing who you are in private, who you are on a deep emotional level, and who you are when you're with people that you feel very comfortable around. The moon has to feel very comfortable before it expresses around someone. Um, Now, for the moon in Sagittarius. Now, what you have to understand before anything else about the moon in Sagittarius is that the sign of Sagittarius is very freedom loving. It's a sign that has to do with higher education, religion, faith, philosophy, learning, etc. So, Sagittarius moon is comforted on a very deep emotional level by having a sense of freedom. We need to feel that we are free to make our own decisions about things in our lives. We have to feel that we are not being pinned down. We're best in a relationship when we feel that our partner is giving us room and freedom to be ourselves. So that doesn't mean that we won't want to be with our partners, we won't want to spend time with them, but it means that we don't want to be controlled, and that's pretty much everybody. But the moon in Sagittarius reacts very negatively to any kind of control. I've been in controlling relationships, and it's always totally explosive because I don't handle it well. And I think any moon in Sagittarius pretty much is going to react the same way to control within a relationship. So, first of all, yes, we need our freedom. We need room to be ourselves. Another thing that's really going to comfort Moon and Sagittarius emotionally is reading. And it's not always something that we gravitate towards because Moon and Sagittarius also likes to constantly be on the move. I'll always be doing something, always be out and about. Sagittarius is a very adventurous sign. So, going on adventures is going to be emotionally comforting to us as well. But we don't often always take the time to sit down and just read and absorb information, even though that's actually very good for our emotional well being. Actually, any method of absorbing information. So, watching YouTube videos, learning different things, watching the news, feeling informed, that's going to be important to us as well. Again, Sagittarius is all about higher education, so learning, being plugged into a school environment. We're also the teachers of the zodiac, so we like to have our wisdom um, acknowledged. We like to that's important for us on an emotional level as well. We like to feel that when we are giving advice, it's being heeded and it's valued. That's one of our weaknesses. I did say that I was going to be a little more harsh on Sagittarius moon than the other moon signs, and this is what I mean. We like to give unsolicited advice. We like to tell people um, what the best thing to do in any given situation is, and then get kind of mad if they don't follow suit, because we know we're such fountains of wisdom and we know what's best to do, and we can get kind of offended when people don't take our advice, even though it really has nothing to do with us. Them choosing it's them choosing what they want to do in their own lives, and that's something we need to respect. But we often like to insert ourselves into situations unsolicited advice. That's something that we do tend to do, even if it's not something that we would do ourselves. We just know what the best thing to do is, and like to give our opinions. We can be very opinionated people. Another thing that is difficult about Sagittarius moon, we are inherently optimistic. Sagittarius is an extremely optimistic sign gravitates towards, Pollyanna syndrome, always being able to see the bright side of any situation. We are fighters because of this. We will keep going and going and going no matter what life throws at us, because something bad happens and we have to find the silver lining. It is not an option. We have to. In order to keep going, we have to. And honestly, we can seem very resilient because of this. But if I'm being honest, and if you, my fellow Sagittarius moons, are also being honest with yourselves, um, it is because we have a harder time handling the darkness. We have a harder time handling these really deep emotions and these really traumatic circumstances. So it's almost kind of like escapism, similar to the way Pisces handles things. Um, but except that the difference is that Pisces moon will actually just kind of disintegrate and vanish and cease to exist within this realm. Sagittarius moons, on the other hand, we just kind of physically remove ourselves and we just kind of bounce. We kind of like refuse to believe the bad parts of the situation that we're in, and we look for the silver lining, and we just kind of distract ourselves with different things until these negative feelings go away. And we just wait for them to go away. We kind of won't always deal with them. I'm actually finding right now that I'm dealing with emotions that I had suppressed from like 3 or 4 years ago, and traumatic situations that I had suppressed because I just never got around to dealing with them. It is very difficult for Sagittarius moon to deal with those negative feelings. We're not of the darkness, we're of the light. We like to experience happy things, and if it's not happy, we can get a little bit delusional trying to make it happy. Sagittarius is also a sign that's very concerned with truth and honesty. So we can be very honest with ourselves. That's why I'm saying, we don't like the darkness, etc. These are things that I've had to come to accept about myself. We are people who can be brutally honest, and actually Sagittarius can kind of go one of two ways. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to escape the darkness that we become very escapist and very delusional. But Sagittarius can also be a sign that is very honest both with others and with themselves. And we can get kind of, we can be perceived as kind of rude because we just say what's true to us. And um, that doesn't always sit well with people. And our attitude is kind of like, well, if it's true, then I should say it, right? Like, we just are very truthful. And on the positive side, that means we can be very truthful with ourselves. We can be very self-aware, very realistic about who we are and where we're coming from and why we are the way we are, etc. You are going to be very belief oriented. And even if you're an atheist, even if you don't believe in anything, this will be a part of your personality. The fact that you are an atheist is going to be kind of important to you and kind of important to your identity, kind of important to your emotional well-being. Because whether you choose to accept it or not, atheism is a belief system because we cannot prove that there is no God. We cannot prove that there is nothing. Just the same way we can't prove that there is a God. So everything that you believe is a belief system, Sagittarius moon. About this moon and Sagittarius mother. Moon and Sagittarius mother on the positive spectrum. My mother homeschooled me. So I actually had my mother as my teacher. Sagittarius is the teacher of the zodiac. So your mother can be somebody who educated you, either literally at home, she homeschooled you, or she could be just somebody who always had wise advice and, always had some kind of wisdom to give you. My mother is actually also Sagittarius moon, so she has that tendency of giving unsolicited advice a lot. And I kind of picked that up from her. Um, so your mother could be somebody who is very wise, someone who is very adventurous, someone who always helps you get out of the house, exposes you to other cultures. My mother actually used to take me to local cultural events. She used to read to me a lot and, expose me to all different kinds of different cultures just through reading. She did a lot of things to help me connect to the world outside my little world. A lot of things to help me connect to the world at large. We used to read books about all different kinds of places and all different kinds of people. Um, that's something I will forever be grateful for. She also bought me books, encouraged me to read a lot. That is the positive side of the Sagittarius moon. Now, the negative side of the Sagittarius moon. This could be a mother who is just not emotionally available. This could be a mother who really did not deal with negative circumstances very well and had these escapist tendencies of her own. And so she was kind of either emotionally unavailable or actually totally unavailable. She could have actually left you when you were very young or something like that. Um, because she had those, Sagittarius freedom-seeking ways. And back to the positive side of Moon in Sagittarius, um, this could also be somebody who is very faithful, someone who's very religious, somebody who exposed you to, um, religion and different faith systems, belief systems. Um, but on the negative side, that could be very warped. It could have been she could have been somebody who exposed you to religious belief systems, but it could have been almost cultish, or it could have been kind of like indoctrination, etc. So someone who exposed you to belief systems, whether in a positive or a negative way. She probably was somebody who is very involved in her belief systems. So that is all I had to say about Sagittarius moon. Actually, it's not. I could go on and on because it's my moon sign, and I know all the things about Sagittarius moon, but that is all I'm going to go into in this video. I did want to let you guys know that I'm now offering individual planetary reports in my shop. The link is in the description of this video. It's basically dissecting individual placements within your chart. So Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Chiron, and the North Node, South Node axis. It's basically just really looking at one placement in your chart in depth and dissecting it, by rulership, by aspect, etc. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and have a great day.